Good morning. Hi there. Well, I was almost completely ready today. Almost. Sorry I'm a few minutes late. Trying my best to do 8 o'clock straight up. Not 8:05, not 8:07, not 8:03, but 8:00. Time to go. I've done pretty good this week, really. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I think I was on time all day, or all week except for today. So, hey, I'm feeling good about myself. Morning, Pam. Morning, everybody. Thanks for popping in with me. Thanks for joining me. It is Thursday. Thursday is grind it out day. You got to grind it out today, get it done, get it out the door, so that Friday could be just Friday. Looking for reasons to get out the door early on Friday, aren't you? Get off at 4, start looking at the door about 2 o'clock, sometimes 1. I think about 1 o'clock. Actually, I think after lunch I was pretty much no good for the rest of the day on Friday. I think that's the way it was for most people. Most people in my office, my little office area. I hated being in a cube, you know. For 90% of my work life, I worked, long-term care, so I was always busy, always going, always doing. And last few years of my work life, of my long-term care life before I retired was stuck in an office, and I really hated it because people would come down, they would wheel themselves down to my office just to hang out with me and say hi because they missed me playing games with them and bringing them life whenever I was an activity director. So man, it didn't take me long though. I did get back into activities for a little while before I permanently retired because I just couldn't handle it. And then even afterwards, I would go back and do presentations to them, once every other week or so, once a month, some places. But yeah, and my dad even carried on that tradition with me because I had him come to my places, my nursing homes, and play music every now and then. Birthday parties, special events. He would come in and play his music. And it was always so much fun. Always so much fun. And so he continued that tradition up until he crossed over. And when I was younger, he hated the fact that I took care of my elders. He hated it. And he would say all these horrible things to make me look at my job from a different point of view. And I'd say, look, man, doesn't matter what you say, everything I do out of my heart. I do out of love for my elders and respect. And I said, and I'll do the same thing for you. But I'm not wiping your butt. You're on your own there, Dad. Personal care, no, we'll find somebody else. He'd always come back with, you ain't touching my butt, man. Oh, shoot. I miss him so bad some days. Today's another one of those days when I am missing my dad today. I really am. And I don't know. I know he hangs out with me pretty closely, so I don't get all tearful and crazy. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I cry and I don't even know why I'm crying. And my husband, usually it's because of something that he said, or taken the wrong way, or I heard incorrectly. And I will just start crying. Oh my God, it's so sad. It's so heartbreaking for me and for him because he feels like shit. He just made me cry, and he doesn't even know what he said. And then I have to turn around and look at him and say, it's not you, I promise you didn't make me cry. I don't know why I'm crying right now. So those moments are lessening, and I'm really, really happy about that. I know he is too. I didn't ground this morning. Time really got away from me this morning. I was awake at about 20 till 6, waiting on the puppy to start fussing to take her out. And I stay in bed until she starts crying because, I want to get every minute of sleep I can or rest. So she started fussing though. And I got up and took him out, and that was still, it was still about 10 till 6 when she woke up. So I don't know. The day just got away from me quickly, and I haven't been able to ground, so I thought maybe Donna said, "Ha ha ha! All our kids say, of course, we'll take care of you and Dad when you can't, but we will get someone else to wipe your yoo-hoos." Nobody wants to see that. Yeah, I was at the hospital with my mom one day, and she was getting dressed after being treated, and I was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! Wait, wait! I don't want to see that." Poor mom, and she's like, "It's so bad." I'm going to pull a card, but I really think that I would love to ground this morning and just be thankful. And I want to show you guys, I made some cherry preserves yesterday. I'd never made cherry jelly, cherry preserves, cherry anything. Any kind of jelly or preserves I've never made. I've made, like, pear butter, of course, apple butter. But never preserves. So, and I didn't have a candy thermometer, so I was just doing my best guesses on when it would be done. And I really ended up with a whole lot of liquid. And so I was talking to my husband, and I would taste it every now and then, see how it was cooking. And the cherries actually, they kind of got more of a candied texture to them now. Instead of a nice, soft, slippery preserve, they're almost like candied cherries. I cooked them too long. But I couldn't tell that it was getting thick or, the syrup was doing anything, because it was just, ready for this, 8 cups of sugar to 4 cups of cherries. And then you put that in a pan, mix them up together, get those cherries really sugary, and let the juices and the sugar melt together. And so before you turn it on, you've got kind of a nice thick liquid. And that's what it turned out to be. And then you cook it down. You cook it to the gel stage, I think. I think I cooked it that long. I'm not sure. We'll find out together. Because, but the cherries themselves, the preserves themselves, got right here. I got these cute little jars. And what I did was I just separated the cherries from the juice, from the liquid, after I'd cooked it down for hours and hours, and then just added a little bit more of the liquid back into the cherries. Ooh, it's kind of thick today. You know what it feels like? It feels like candy. It does. I think I cooked it I think I really did make candied cherries, which is actually kind of cool, because I was thinking that this would make an excellent chutney. I don't ever throw anything unless it really tastes terrible. If I make a mistake on whatever it is that I'm cooking, yeah, that's something else. Boy, that's really super thick. Oh my God, it's so good. It is a candied cherry. So, ham. Thanks, Donna. Donna had, she got lucky and got one of my jars of pear butter last year. Few people did. Happy accident. It is a happy accident, Shauna. Thank you. You want a jar? I'll save a jar for you if you want one. So the cherries, I think, will make a really, really good chutney. Add some apples and cinnamon, some lemon zest to that. Oh, man. And then maybe even pour it over some ham. Make glazed ham with it. That would be fantastic. Okay. I got some kind of setup action going here on my cherry preserves. Ah, look at that. Look at that. Man, and as red as it is, there's no food coloring in here. There's no nothing. There's just cherries and sugar, and that's it. And I just cooked it and cooked it too long. But you know what? That's just a beautiful consistency. That's really nice. I'm not going to eat that whole thing, no. But I will. It's kind of like, it's almost like honey. The thickness is almost like honey. There it is. The cherry flavor is real nice. First I tasted was the sugar, kind of like I don't know. It's just super sweet. I think I almost made taffy. Maybe I ought to get a. Excuse me. Pardon me. Maybe I should get a candy thermometer next time. And then at least I'll know whenever it's time for it to just be jelly and not be taffy. Anyway, happy accident. Absolutely right. Thank you very much for that. But that was sure fun. It was fun making it, and it was fun to try. Pain in the butt. Shauna said, sure. Nice. All right. Got a jar coming your way then, darling. All right. Let us ground. Let's just say a nice morning prayer. What do you say? That's how I ground. I'm kicking off my shoes, and you can join me if you want to. If you don't, just hang out for a minute. Oh, usually I've got my sage burning, and welcoming the sunshine. Love to welcome the sunshine, because the sunshine welcomes me, actually. But I'm always looking for it. Doesn't matter where it's at. If it's a very cloudy day, I'm still looking for that little bright spot, a little bright break in the clouds if I can find it. And if I can't, well, I know where it's at anyway. So close your eyes, take some deep breaths. They don't have to be cleansing breaths. But do try to take cleansing breath if you can. Don't make a spectacle of yourself if you're in public. But take those deep breaths, hold it just for a second, and then when you blow it out, keep blowing and blowing and blowing and blowing and blowing until you don't have any air left in your lungs. And then take another breath. You can take it in through your nose, in through your mouth, use your mouth and nose, whatever you are comfortable with. There's no rule. But you'll know when you finally get that last really super deep breath that just expands your lungs out a little bit. And when you've gotten there, know that as you've taken those deep breaths in, the air has come down through your lungs, scoured every crevice and nook and cranny, every corner of your lungs, and pulled out all those stresses, those little bubbles of stress that you catch every day. And if you don't release them and let them go, they stay, and they just build more stress. So do your cleansing breaths. And try to remember that if something surprises you and you catch your breath, to take another deep breath behind that and blow it out. Let it go. Don't hold that stress in. Giving thanks to the Father, who is the creator of all that there is. The one who created you in his image so that you too can be a creator. He didn't just create you in his image because he was vain and wanted to look at himself all around. You were created in the image of the Creator. so that you can create for yourself a life that is beautiful and prosperous and happy and endless and limitless, because that's what you are. Giving thanks for all of that and so much more. Giving thanks to the earth, who is the mother, who provides all that we have to survive. Everything that we have, everything that we touch, the air that we breathe, the water that you play in and drink, came from her because she provided that for us. So give honor and regard to the earth as you would a mother. She provides all that there is for you. Giving thanks to my spirit guides, English, Yoshashan, grandmother, and Faye. They stand with me every day so that I can do whatever it is that they ask of me, whatever they call on me to do. My feet, my hands, my body is theirs to do with what they will for the highest and greatest good of all. Asking Yoshashan to open up my throat chakra so that I may speak clearly and have myself understood, so that I can receive the words that are spoken to me, so that I can understand what it is that I'm being asked of. Open my heart chakra so that I can love unconditionally, giving freely, but also receiving in kind, freely and without obligation. Open my third eye so that I can see beyond the spoken word and understand the circumstances around. Open my third eye so that I can know what it is that lies before me. Strengthen and heal and straighten my crown chakra so there may be a direct connection to my Creator, to my higher power. Strengthen my solar plexus chakra so that I may see myself as others see me and be proud of the image that I give. Cleanse and strengthen and open my sacral chakra so that I can receive the joy and the happiness and the fulfillment of life every day. So that my passions may run freely and strong. And ground me in my root chakra so that though my spirit is always connected above, the physical is always grounded to the earth. And make me a conduit of healing energy from heaven into the earth. Let me be your conduit. Let me take the energies that are in the heavens, touching those healing rivers, those beautiful healing rivers of energy, and that beautiful river of love. Allowing it to pass through to my heart chakra, down my arms, out my hands, so that I too can share in that healing energy and heal others that I may need to touch, that you would have me touch. Let me be a conduit for your healing energy. Let me be a conduit for your loving energy. Let me be a conduit for all that is great and good, for the highest and greatest good of all. Giving thanks to my angels and archangels, my ancestors, and my loving friends and loved ones that I've known in this life that have crossed over before me. Giving them honor and sharing in their love. Always grateful, always moving forward, and always ready to do whatever it is that is asked of me. And always and every day going forward with a happy and thankful heart. So it is, and so it is, and so it is. Nice. Morning to you. Thanks for joining me again. Thanks for grounding with me, saying those morning prayers. You know, and it is morning prayers. I've thought about it, and I used to, it's not that I didn't like the word prayer. It is more that I didn't understand what prayer should be. And prayer should not be a person on their knees crying and wailing and begging for something to change, or for something to be given to you. It really should not. It should always be with a happy heart that you're giving thanks. Because when you pray, especially your morning prayers, it's like, good morning, sunshine. Happy to be here. Thanks for standing with me. Thanks for breathing with me. Thanks for giving me the air to breathe. It should be not necessarily grateful, but humble and happy. Spirit loves happy noises. Whether you're singing or clanging bells or beating a drum or just playing music on your CD player, or your iPad or pod or whatever. Play that music and sing with them. Sing those songs. Because really, Spirit dances when you dance. And they sing when you sing. And they enjoy every part of life that you enjoy. They enjoy it right along beside you. They really do. And when you are singing and dancing and not because there are times, especially when I was younger, music was my outlet. And there were certain songs that were my angry songs, that were my stomping songs. And there were certain bands that played music that I would listen to when I was wanting to get rowdy and, get pumped up and just go have fun and make noise, and be ornery. And then there are the love songs and the songs that you sing to children. Music is so diverse, and it suits every single mood that you have. And so, choose music that feeds your energy with life and with light and love. And it doesn't have to be, praise and worship music for that to happen. It does not have to be. It just has to be a good song that makes you laugh, and makes you tap your feet, and makes you move. It makes you smile, because the things that they're singing about, you've lived. You've experienced those joyous times. You've experienced that love or that heartbreak that he's singing about so sweetly, thinking about the good times, not the bad. And so really that's what Spirit wants us to do. Because when we're celebrating life, and when we're celebrating love, and when we're celebrating ourselves and other people, and you're bouncing and you're just having fun, they're doing it too. They're standing there and they're bouncing and they're like, man, it's some great music playing tonight. She is kicking it. Look at that. Yeah. And know too that when you play the angry music, the stomping music, those vibrations are low and they're heavy and they're banging and they're beating. And you can feel the vibrations in your chest, in your heart. Well, they stir up, in some people, they stir up feelings of rage and they're just like, and then they're moshing and stomping around and wanting to fight. It's because those vibrations are also enjoying the music. You know? As much as the higher vibrations enjoy that music that is light and loving and fun and free, lower vibrational energies also help feed you. They feed your energy when you are playing the music, playing the vibrations. And it can be the same said about the words that you use. It doesn't have to be music. You know, some people are saying, because I remember when I was a kid, there was a time when families who were, oftentimes they were born again Christian, but it seemed like this little cult wave swept through Christianity for a time. And it was all about getting your teenagers to burn their music, to burn their records. That's the same thing as burning books. It's the same thing as burning books, to burn records, burn music. And they were having big bonfires at church. And these poor kids are carrying their albums, because CDs were not out at the time. They were carrying their record albums, or their cassette tapes, or their 8-track tapes, or even sometimes their CDs, because they were still doing it. CDs came out, in the 80s sometime? Yeah. So they were even carrying their CDs then. To these bonfires, shaking and crying, hoping to do the right thing, because right now they're being told that they're worshiping the devil by listening to these music. And I was horrified. I was horrified for these poor kids, not at them, but at the actions of the adults having that much power over the emotions of a child and executing it. Pretty scary. And I'm sure I am not the only one. Who remembers those days. At least if you're not from around here anyway, because it was pretty rampant. Anyway, but the music of your voice is as powerful as the music that you listen to or the music that you play. When you're in a drum circle, Julie, you know what? Honestly, you're probably exactly right. Because it was that type of environment, that type of town. When you're playing a drum, usually it starts off very gentle. Boom, 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 boom. And then it builds. Dun, 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 dun. And everybody's drumming and the energies are just electric and everything's climbing and it's reaching this crescendo. Boom, 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 boom. Everybody's banging in tune, right? And then there's this great release of energy, whether it's a woo yell or it's just a big boom of the music and everybody ends at one time. The music, the energy is released into the air, into the atmosphere, into the universe. And then it picks back up and it slows down in a rhythm. If you start off banging, and putting those heavy, big, loud bomb, bomb, bomb out without energetically building it, if you're just taking out your energies and your aggressions, same thing. The vibrations are not the same. They're just not the same. The energies that you put out and the energies that you receive are absolutely not the same. And so what I have come to understand is our chakra system. Now I realize, and Kim I know, and anyone who is, yoga instructor, anyone who knows anything about the chakra system will understand this, I think. But our lower chakras, our root chakra, sacral and solar plexus chakras to the heart. And let's include the heart. These are our connections to the earth. These are our grounding chakras, our self, our identity chakras. These are chakras that heavily influence how we see the world and how the world sees us. All of them together, including the heart chakra. And so these feelings, these emotions, self-identity, passion, drive, joy, family, home, work, things that are associated with those emotions, with those chakras, these are our earth chakras, and we feed these to the earth. When we're feeling depressed or sad or down or lonely or put upon, if we don't like our work, if we're not satisfied with life, things to do with the physical nature of self, we send these energies into the ground. Okay? These are our heavier vibrational energies. These are our physical energies. When we are giving thanks for the family life that we have, the joy in the work that we have, the peace that we have with our friends, with ourself. When we give thanks for these things, we also give them to the earth, to the ground. We give them because we receive our energy. Our feet are our plug-ins to the earth. They're our roots that we send into the earth, right? And when we're cleansing our energies, exchanging our energies, grounding, plugging into the earth, that good, healthy, beautiful white light energy comes up through your grounding leg. Usually you're non-dominant. For me, it's my left. Circles around and pushes all of the negativity out the right side of my body into the earth. And she pulls it down and she takes it and she takes all of this high-strung, out-of-control energy and she calms it down. And then she kneads it with the earth and she combines it. She takes out all the poisons and she cleans it. And when she makes it brand new and she presents it back to us, this beautiful, clean, white light grounding energy, cleansing, reinvigorating, and flowers. She presents us with flowers. When we give her our crap, she turns it into fertilizer and gives us back flowers. So those things we give to the earth. The things that we give to spirit, the things that we give to heaven, are our energies associated with our heart chakra, our love, our unconditional giving, our gratitude, our happiness, our throat chakra. We are giving positive, loving vibrations to the universe, to other people. We're speaking clearly. We're having our needs heard and understood and met. Because you have to speak your needs. You have to ask for your needs to be met. You cannot think that they'll be met. You cannot hope that they will be met. You can know that they will be met after you speak them, because you must put the vibrations into the air in order for the vibrations to come back to you. Just as much as people say, that what you say is going to come back to you 3 times and right back at you. All the negative, all the vile that you spew is going to come back and hit you in the face. That's karma, man. Well, it's the same thing with the positive and the loving and the good and the hopes and the dreams. When you draw out your perfect house, or your perfect friend, or your perfect sunset, or your perfect life, when you draw it out and you put it on paper, you're putting the vibrations of your desire into the universe. When you speak about them, you're putting your desires into the universe and those vibrations. So in all that we do, we have to draw a picture, whether we're drawing it physically or verbally. We have to draw the picture. And then once we put the vibrations of our needs or our wants and desires into the universe, once we send them out, we have to sit back. And that means that we don't get on our knees that very next morning, or the very next day, or the very next evening or hour, and ask for it again. Because what happens then, spirit is over here, man, and they're working, they're doing their thing, they're knitting, they're pulling strings in the matrix, starting to get other people's attention to get you what you want, to find that perfect place, that perfect person, to find what it is that you're seeking. And they're going to gather everything up and they're going to present it back to you. But when you ask for it again, it's like you're tapping on their shoulder. You're saying, hey, pardon me, excuse me, because you're not moving fast enough. So let me make sure that you understand what it is that I want. And so like, okay, they turn around from their work. They look you right in the eye and they say, you got all of my attention. Tell me exactly what it is that you need so that I can make sure that I got it right. And he says, well, it's this house, and it looks like this. It's got this many bedrooms and this many bathrooms and a basement, but I want my laundry room upstairs because I don't want to have to climb up and downstairs with all that laundry basket. They say, okay, hey, I'm on that, because I was working on that, just a second ago when you tapped me on my shoulder, because you'd asked me this earlier, and so I was working on that. So if you don't mind, you don't need anything else, I'm going to go back to working on this, okay? So you turn around and go back to work. Still not fast enough. So 2 or 3 days later, you're on your knees going, hey, please, God, please hear what I have to say. I'm asking, please take care of this for me. I need it so bad. And your spirit guide's going, hey, wait a second, what's going on? What do you need so bad? Because I'm right here. I was over here working on this that you said you needed so bad just, a few days ago. But I'm right here now. I've got my full attention. What do you need? And so you tell them all over again. And they say, well, I was in a really important meeting with the big guy when you tapped me on my shoulder again, and so I had to say, excuse me, we'll have to call this meeting off because she needs me and it's super important right now. And so it goes on and on and on. Every single time you get on your knees, you have to be patient. You have to wait for an answer. You cannot keep asking for the same thing over and over again. And if you do, Isn't there a saying about if you do the same thing over and over again? Oh, the definition of crazy, that's what it is. If you do the same thing over and over again expecting different results, well, might be your sign. I'm not saying anybody's crazy. I just want you to understand that the more joy and the more hope you give to others, and the more love you share just for the sake of sharing it. And it can be as simple as taking 5 minutes out of your walk with your dog to compliment a lady on the flower garden that she's making. And it ends up into a 5-minute conversation that turns into an afternoon tea that turns into one of the best friendships of your life. You know, you don't know what is out there until you open your eyes and start looking for it. And if that it is your idea of perfection, well, Spirit really has that covered, because your idea of perfection and Spirit's idea of perfection, vastly different, but still the same. Still the same. So, let's read a card. Man, that was a lot of energy this morning. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, energy. This is my morning high, by the way. My morning high. When Spirit does their thing, it really is energizing. It's not draining. It is not depleting. You know, a lot of times people will, especially healers are especially bad about this. Empaths are worse. You know, you have to guard and guide yourself from other people's energies, because energies are rampant right now. We have lost the ability, forgotten how to use our psychic energies to protect ourselves as well as to communicate with other people and to make things happen, you know, to influence the physical world. We have forgotten these things. And so those of us who are awakening, and like empaths who are just understanding that they're empaths and the strength of it is so great, knowing that you have a spirit guide and you can set that spirit guide to be your doorman, and that's the first thing that you should ask for of your spirit guide. I need you or you to appoint someone to protect my light, to be my door guard, to not let other spirit invade my spirit. Because energies are vastly different and horribly strong. So yeah, and the crystals and the stones, my God. And the herbs, you know, I'm finding that herbs are just as powerful energetically as crystals are. And I thought crystals were, you know, the thing. I thought they were as powerful as you get. But it's not. Although I think herbal energy is a softer, gentler energy, more feminine. But anyway, those who are not awakened, they don't have any clue about how their energies affect other people, nor do they care, because they don't believe that it's true. And so their energies are erratic and crazy and affecting, you know, it's almost like snakes and whips, you know, they're just reaching out to grab you, all these crazy energies from people who are not awakened, not informed, not interested. Julie said she could knock somebody out with her purse because she doesn't go anywhere without her crystals and stones. That's so funny. Somebody asked me what I had in my purse the other day. You got rocks in here? And literally, you know, and I was like, yeah, I do. Sorry about that. All right. Got me some new reading glasses. These are kind of cool. Brown and green, or blue and green. Yeah, but you can only see it in certain angles. Anyway, I thought they were kind of cool. Dearest you, this is Postcards from Spirit by Colette Baron Reed. Give this girl some honor. This woman, she absolutely deserves it. Dearest you, you have a unique purpose and destiny that only you can fulfill. But first, you need to know that destiny isn't a destination. You don't arrive at some mystical place where, poof, you're perfect and happy all the time. It's about establishing and firming up a commitment to a certain experience, whatever form that takes. Man, keep that thought. Your soul knows what you need to experience. Your destiny is to be present for all of life's adventures, to discover your talents and full potential through allowing inspiration to lead you, and to risk standing apart from the crowd to listen to your soul. You're so special, as much as you are also paradoxically one with the world, individual, yet part of a great whole. Both truths have led you to this moment where we are saying you're on the right track. Even if your higher self doesn't see that, listen to your soul. Check in with Spirit and keep on going. Spirit loves you, life loves you, and we love you. Nice. Nice, that's beautiful. Oh, my goodness. Hang on just a second. I know what I did this time. I took myself off air. There we go. I put my mouse here beside me because my computer is over there. I had to get away from the screen. I had to get away from feeling like I was being confined to this area. And so, hey, Julie, go have a beautiful day. Thank you. Thanks for popping in. Lisa said she's just listening and absorbing today. Yeah, today's kind of an absorbing day, isn't it? I mean, Spirit is so good and so great. I knew that I was going to ground with you guys this morning instead of grounding outside before I came on to visit with you, because there was so much activity going on, and my husband woke up and came out about the time that I began my morning prayers, and I wanted to visit with him for a little bit. And I said, well, I guess I'm supposed to ground with you guys because Spirit is really telling me, they're really getting on me about getting back to the basics. And so that means we're going to be doing maybe some evening meditation. I'm not sure. I can't commit myself to more morning work, and I don't understand enough about how what system I need, what I need to be able to do interviews so I can do pimp my product. That just breaks my heart. And it just means that I need to learn, but I have to wait until the right person is presented to me that I can learn from. So I'm being patient, and I'm waiting for that. I really am. I really am being super patient for that. And though I do recognize that Spirit is just on me to stop waiting, but I'm not comfortable meditating in here. And so Spirit says, well, then take it someplace else. Go outside, Go someplace. Go to a park and take your phone with you. Okay. Okay. But I am like everybody else. It is so hard some days to pick up and move forward and keep moving forward. And I see where my patience has paid off, even though the reward hasn't been given to me yet. The patience has paid off. And so I am super, super excited about beginning a new life in a home that is ours, my husband and me. Excuse me, and my puppy family. I'm so sorry. I didn't take a Claritin this morning. And so I can see it, and it is not just around the corner. It is just right up here on the horizon. Just on the horizon, you know. I'm not trying to look for it anymore. It's there. And every day, all these grand ideas are popping up in my head. Do this, do that. You know, you would love this. And yeah, man, I surely would. Surely would love to have or make that a part of my studio. So, life ever changing, ever evolving. Patience is mine. And I know, I hear spirits saying, if you just take one step towards us. I know. I don't know what it is that stops me from doing things sometimes. Someone told me once that I had a fear of success. And so I would sabotage things purposely so that they would not come to fruition. And I look back on my life and I'm thinking, yeah, you're pretty much spot on there. Though I don't want to admit that. You know, I really don't. I don't want to admit that I have almost made it and then quit or failed on purpose. But it was not like an epic failure. It was like, okay, it's been fun. I got to run. Bored with this stuff. When if I would have just stayed and taken that one last step, you know, I would have been able to say today, hey, I completed that. But instead I'm like, oh yeah, I almost had that in the bank, but decided at the last minute that I wouldn't. Missy says, good morning. Thank all so much for prayers and good vibes for my grandson Theo. They took him out the IV out this morning. Hopefully the feeding tube comes out soon too. Oh, that's so beautiful, Missy. I'm so happy to hear that. So happy. Right, Misha? Misha said she's had plenty of those moments. And I still do. I still do. And it's hard to break that cycle, you know, and because this particular cycle, not completing certain steps, you know, like for instance, I took a course one time through the mail to become a writer because I love to write, and writing poetry and short stories and long stories and novels was just how I filled my time. And I could always see the different phases of my life whenever I looked back at the writings that I had done, things that I had written down. And with this class, you know, the teacher was, she was so rude. She was just rude. And, you know, I would write a story and I would proofread it and just everything I think would be just absolutely perfect about this story. And she'd send it back to me, man, there's red lines through it for the misspelling and the improper punctuation and the context being incorrect. You know, your story's pretty good. It's not great. If you add a little bit of this, maybe touch on that, it might look pretty. It might be a lot better. And I'm like, hey, screw that, man. This is my story. This is mine. You can't tell me how to do my thing. Screw you. I am out of here. And I would freaking leave. Or I would just quit. And I can see where that ego, that huge bit of ego, took me away from being able to say, hey, I completed this course online. It was just a writing course. It was nothing big, you know. But hey, I completed it because it was a learning experience. But you know, at the time, you don't think about the learning experiences. You just think about self and whatever self is doing to get in your way. So, this finishing things, this little self-sabotage thing that I do, I'm really trying hard to correct it. That's something in myself that I'm really trying hard to recognize whenever it's happening and just stop it. Don't allow it. So if I can do it, if I can at least try every day, so can you guys, right? Not that you need to. Not that you need to. But there's always some aspect of our lives that we could look at and say, I could have done a little bit better. I could have finished that. I could have taken that extra step. I could have made that one person smile. So next time I'm blessed with the opportunity to do this again, next time I'm going to finish it. Next time I'm going to see that person smile. And I'm going to take the opportunity. It is difficult. It is. It's very hard. But if you recognize the pattern in your life as the opportunity to correct the pattern or change the pattern, it doesn't have to be wrong. You know, there isn't anything wrong with me not finishing as a person. There's not anything wrong with it. It doesn't influence my life. But what it does do is it sets up a pattern. It sets up a repetitiveness. And then when I recognize it, well, I can't help but see it every time the opportunity comes. I can't help but recognize, all right, this is an opportunity to change that little fault. And even if the opportunity comes, I recognize it, and I'm not able to, if I at least took one step forward to try to correct that little aspect of ego, because it is an aspect of ego. It's an aspect of self. Well, that thing that I recognize and I take steps towards changing every time it comes up, doesn't that influence other things in my life that I don't recognize that I'm leaving behind? I think it does. I think it does. I think the vibrations carry on. And closed doors, closes gaps. When you complete something, the circle's done, right? It's completed. You walk away from it and you don't ever have to look at it again. So I think it's just an echo of self. Dearest you. 9 o'clock. Woo! Wow. I got a few messages on there this morning. Dearest you, there is only one you. Yeah, I already read that. I'm so sorry. Try it again. I know it's almost time to kick off here, guys. I'm going to give you 2 more cards, and then I'm going to get off of here and let you go about your day and do it with love. Do everything you do in your life if you do it with love. And you can't go wrong. Dearest you. Oh my, things are stirred up and change is upon you. And this is cause for celebration. No need to be nervous, but know that it's okay to be afraid when faced with the uncertainties of life. The funny thing is that courage, and I know we read this yesterday, courage doesn't get mustered in the absence of fear, but rather in spite of it, or even because of it. Step into the unknown now. Let go of the branch that you're clinging to, and just let Spirit take the wheel and help steer you to your highest good and most wonderful adventure. All you need to concern yourself with is choosing courage as your ally. Leave the rest up to us. There's a load of miracles being shipped your way. Remember what philosopher Joseph Campbell said? Take 1 step towards the gods, and they will take 10 towards you. We're all doing the Destiny Cha-Cha over here. That's right. Don't be afraid to dance. Loving you always. Nice. Take 1 step towards us. And we will take 10 towards you. Last but not least. You ready? Turn this. Here we go. Last but not least. Dearest you, selfless giving is an elixir so sweet and life-giving and amazing that it should be customary for every day. Right now, generosity is being asked of you. Let go of a debt, release an obligation, or do a solid kindness for someone for no other reason than as an exercise of the heart. You will be surprised at how quickly a generous heart is repaid. We know that it often doesn't happen in the immediate exchange, so temper your expectations. Know that life has an uncanny way of sending miracles seemingly unrelated to your kindness, yet interconnected in magical ways. The more you act from generosity, the bigger your heart grows and the more love and abundance you will experience. We also know that someone could be entering your life with a generous offer for you. Take it and trust that you are worthy and deserving of it. You have to receive, not just give. We love you so much over here. That's a perfect way to end the show. I hope you all have a very beautiful day. I hope you take the love that I give to you and spread it joyously and without reserve. Because when you give love and you give it abundantly, without question, without judgment, and without expectations, man, miracles really do happen. They really honestly do. They really truly do happen. I've seen them. I've seen it save someone's life. Just saying hi. How are you doing? Saved their life. So, if just that one little thing can save someone's life, what a miracle that is. But just know that it will change someone's life. Maybe even yours. Maybe even yours. You guys have a beautiful day. Go do good things. And don't ever stop. And I'll see you tomorrow.